movement relative to the base station. So what is the meaning of this movement relative to the base station? This movement relative to the base station, if we are to sort of understand that, what it means basically is that in the cellular system we have number of cells that we are having like this way, this type of there is one cell, then there is another cell, and like that. And the number of cells, what they form, what we call as a cluster. So there might be a 7-cell cluster or a 19-cell cluster, and so on. And each cell, has one base station. Okay, so when we say this relative motion, so what is the meaning of relative motion? So the relative motion means that if you have a base station, say this is the base station over here, and there is a handset, like this handset. So this handset and this base station, there is always some relative motion. That means this handset is moving this way or this way or in various directions. So with respect to this base station, there is always a relative motion. So that is the meaning of the movement relative to the corresponding base station. Corresponding base station means the base station to which it is communicating. Maybe after some time when it goes like this, then it will have to be handed over to another base station. But that relative motion is going to remain. Then the second thing is relative to the surroundings. So what does that mean? That means that relative to the surrounding means that the handset, for example, is if say you are going on a road, then there are surroundings, like there are buildings and so on. So with respect to those surroundings, this handset is moving. And because of that, whatever is being transmitted by the antenna is getting reflected, before it reaches the base station. And if it is like going back, this path is going to change. So that is the meaning of relative to the surroundings. And the third property is what is known as multi-path propagation. Multi-path propagation. So what is the meaning of multi-path propagation? So multi-path propagation means that number of copies of that same signal, right? So supposing this is your handset. If this is your handset and it is having a antenna, and let us say here is your base station. If this is your base station, so you might get one transmission which is going direct, and you might get another one which is say reflected and it reaches over here. So you are having say two copies, we say two copies of the same signal or the same information. So that is known as multi-path propagation. That is when you are having more than one copy of the information or the signal. So that means multi or more than one. So these are the basic, we can say the, properties of the radio communication. because these things are happening, they do not happen in the case of wired communication, isn't it? If you are having, say, your fiber optic cable or that type of communication, then you are not having this particular, these properties you are not having. So this all you must have studied in the unit 1, but we are just looking at it just from a revision point of view, so that we know exactly what is there. And the most important, very important property here is what we have to understand is that the transmission is on a common channel. Okay. So once it is a common channel, so whether you are transmitting or receiving, it is going to happen at the same time, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what that means is that if you have this air, which is our the medium, air is the medium. So if the person is, so if a base, or say the handset, this is the handset, and I am transmitting, and there is a base station, he is also transmitting. So they are using the same channel, air. Air is the, what is it? It is the common channel. Everyone uses that. So if you are going to use the same frequency, then you are going to have what is known as interference. So to avoid interference, what we do is we use various access techniques, what are known as access techniques. And for this course, the common access techniques that we will be studying is what is known as FDD, that is your frequency division, duplex, and TDD, time division duplex. And so that at the same time you are able to transmit and receive. So this is another important thing that we are to understand. Okay, and this is a very important point about this course, which is known as the standards. Standard means that, as I have said, that we are going to study for this course what is known as DECT, DECT. Full form of DECT is digitally enhanced cordless telephone. So the standard means that we will be studying this DECT standard, which says that, okay, the cell range, okay, this cell range should be how much? 50 to 400 meters. The frequency will be over here, this 1880 to 1900, and for within each channel there will be a carrier spacing of this much, 1.728 megahertz, and you will have like 2 channels per carrier. That is, there will be a total of 12 channels. Okay, in this range there will be how many? 12 channels, and each channel is going to be spaced by 1.728. So your first channel will start at 1.728. Okay, and so there will be one frequency for sending, and there will be another frequency for receiving. and there will be a spacing between them. So each channel will consist of how much? That is your two frequencies. And so there will be only 12 such channels in this RF range of 1880 to 1900. Then in addition to each of these channels, you will be using a TDD, that is a time division duplex, using two slots on the same RF carrier. So if you are having one, like this type of frequency, then you are using two slots. So actually you are having how many? 12 into 2, that means 24, what we can call it, frequency and time slots that are available on any one, this, on this complete RF band. Then the speech coding is ADPCM. The modulation type is this, which as you have told me, you have studied the modulation type, so you must have studied this modulation type. The data rate is so much, that is 1.152 megabits per second. BER is 10 raised to minus 3. BER stands for bit error ratio or bit error rate. The maximum transmitted power is 250 milliwatts. So this is the standard, and based on this, these standards, we see the design, aspects of the design aspects of our syllabus. That means we will take this as a standard and then proceed like that. And this, of course, is the same, what is the typical communication system. That means you have a transmitter, then it goes through the channel, and then there is a front end, and then there is a demodulator. So we are going to, you have already studied the channel, you must have been taught. First you think that the channel is ideal, then you say that it is an AWGN channel, so what happens for the transmission and the receiver. So these are the things which we are, the typical communication system that we are going to be talking about. Then this, you must have done these things. I will just quickly go through. These are, the design parameters. Then this is our famous channel capacity formula, which and this is how we generally represent the digital modulation. All this, these all you must have done. Basically the BFSK type of modulator implementation. That means if this is your digital input, then how it is modulated through this binary phase shift keying, binary frequency, sorry. That means there is one frequency for say the 1 and there is another frequency for 0, and then when it is received over here, then through this correlator, all this threshold detector is detecting your original signal which was sent. Yes. And similarly you have QPSK, then the QPSK demodulator, then offset QPSK, and the minimum shift key. And in the minimum shift key, the variation of the standard is called GMSK, that is Gaussian minimum shift key. So these are the various channels. And then, as I said, you must have done this. That is the classical channel and the additive white Gaussian noise. When you add that, then we are saying that here, this is your ideal channel. And if this channel is ideal, then whatever is sent, the same is received. But in case there is this channel with AWGN, that is additive white Gaussian noise, then we are saying that this noise is added over here. And then because of this noise, what is happening to this signal ST? So this you must have done And then in that again after we saw this one, that is with the noise, then we also say that the channel has a finite bandwidth, and this finite bandwidth causes what is known as ISI, inter-symbol interference. Then this is the other aspect of propagation you must have done, that is the received power under what is path loss and multipath fading. So as I had explained to you that this particular what is multipath, that means the signal is received from more than one copy of the signal is received, isn't it? Which is known as multipath. So what is the meaning of path loss and multipath fading? Okay. What is the difference between the path loss and path fading? Yeah. You have done that one? People? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so the question was, what is the difference between path loss and multipath fading? See, what happens is, say this is my transmitter. Okay, so if this is my transmitter, right?
Yes, sir.
Which is, say, this is your power. So let us say it is transmitting at some power level. So as we, travel, this is what? Distance. So the power is going to decrease, isn't it? As a length. So this power decreases, which is basically this decrease is inversely proportional to 1 by d square. So as the distance increases, my power is going to keep on decreasing. So this decrease in power is known as the decrease in power, or which is also known as attenuation due to path loss. Okay. So you must, so this is the first loss. Okay. That is the due to distance. As the distance increases, my power is reducing like this, inversely proportional to the distance square. Right. And the other loss which we must understand, what is known as the multipath. Okay. So in the multipath, what is that here is again my transmitter, which is my say handset, and it is going to another say this base station over here. Let's say over there. Then in multipath, you see what is happening is that you are getting one ray or one copy which is coming like this, and there is another copy which is coming like this, isn't it? So what is the length of these two these two copies? So if we call this as say if this is D, then this we can say as this and this. So this would be say D1 plus D2. So there is a difference in the length of the two signals. So this difference, as you know, difference of length